We are starting this evening by queering up breaking news. Florida declares war on Wilton, Fort Lauderdale, Miami Beach over rainbows. Florida has declared war on what Queer News Tonight has called the gayest place on planet Earth. Today, the Florida Department of Transportation has said rainbow embracements in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami Beach must remove their city rainbow crosswalks or face major funding retribution from the state. Miami Beach Commissioner Joseph McGinsey said on Facebook that the state informed Miami Beach that the city, quote, must remove all artistic crosswalks, specifically the rainbow-colored crosswalk on Ocean Drive and 12th Street, which has for so long stood as a welcoming sign to our LGBT community. This is complete and utter bullshit that the state has no business getting involved in. I am unequivocal in my support and championing of our LGBT community. And that crosswalk was a welcome sign for everyone. It bothered no one, end quote. Fort Lauderdale Mayor Dean Trantalis, a member of the LGBTQ community, said he expects that the city will soon be questioned about its street designs, including the rainbow art along Fort Lauderdale Beach. He said, quote, it had been determined that if we brightened up a certain intersection, it would bring people's attention that they're entering the intersection, end quote. Trantalis was asked today what Fort Lauderdale will do if they receive the FDOT letter, and he said, quote, we have to wait to see what the letter says, end quote. A representative from the city of Wilton Manors, who asked to not be named, said the Rainbow Bridge on Wilton Drive has been questioned. The representative indicated the argument with FDOT will focus on the argument that it is a design on the side of the road, not the state road directly. The state gave similar orders recently to Delray Beach and Key West, which plan to fight the mandate. The Florida Department of Transportation has warned that non-compliance beyond September 3rd could lead to state funding cuts. Miami Beach Republican Rep. Fabian Basabi, who voted in 2023 to expand Florida's restrictions on classroom LGBTQ inclusion to all public school grades, sent a letter Tuesday requesting a public hearing on the matter. Basabi said, quote, my LGBTQ community in particular has expressed that they constantly feel under attack. It is important to me that the state listen to these voices directly in a fair and transparent process that respects everyone who calls Miami Beach home, end quote. Queer News Tonight's Al Ferguson spoke to Basabi today and said this is largely performative politics and that there are many solutions that must be pursued. Queer News Tonight will be following this developing story closely. This is ridiculous. How does a right-wing conservative justify this action? What is a rainbow road doing to anybody except brightening up the area? It may be a little bit of gentrification, I will be honest, but it is a painted road. How is that bothering anybody that's not homophobic? Genuinely, I'm asking. I'm asking.
It's not. It's not. I mean, my issue is jurisdiction. This is not from the state or should be from the state or the federal level. This is every city, every municipality, like they get to decide these things. And so how dare Trump and DeSantis and those people in power at the federal level to dictate what we as the citizens in our individual cities get to see. That's a local issue. And so every conservative should be outraged over this, whether you are in favor of gay rights or not, or rainbows or whatever, that this kind of power, this is big government overreach. And the moment that they do that, remember, as soon as the tide changes and you have a more liberal president or governor, they will have the power to do the same thing and put in all the things that you hate. So as a conservative, not me as a conservative, I'm not a conservative, but I'm saying if you are a conservative who is in favor of this, just remember the tide will change. Do you want to give that kind of power? All right, we need to be fighting this. And in answer to your question, who is this hurting? Where are the accident records? All right, the Department of Transportation, where is it saying that anywhere that this is causing an accident or they're more prone to accidents? If that's not the case, then you must acquit, okay? OJ,
Hello.
Well,
Love on, baby.
You know, I think the quote from Joe Magazine, who is actually considered to be quite a right-wing person in life, the commissioner in Miami Beach, gave a very bold statement, and he was on point in what he said. I was on the LGBTQI advisory board in Miami Beach when we got these We tried for years to get the crosswalks approved. So I have a personal affront with this particular matter. And actually the ones in Miami Beach are Art Deco palette. So they're not even the traditional rainbow colors. So I don't even know how it's a stretch to even demand that they be taken down. And all of it is to say, why? Because it's just diversion tactics from the important matters of education, healthcare, et cetera, people being held in detentions, and all these things that are really, really important and matter. It's just insanity, and they seem to be okay with swastikas and Confederate flags.
Right.
I mean, hello.
Like it's nothing. What you think, Edward?
It's just really ridiculous that they're going to be using our tax dollars to erase or just to get rid of all of the colors on the street. Whereas, we could be using those resources obviously for better things. This is obviously just an attempt to just, really get our goat, with this. But, we're very crafty. Look at Wilton Manors. That we painted a bridge. So we'll paint another bridge. We'll keep throwing the flag out there in many different ways. If it's not on a crosswalk, it's going to be on a building or it's going to be somewhere else. It's not going anywhere.
Nah, I'll get it tattooed on my ass if I have to.
That's a big flag.
I think you're going to see more rainbow representations throughout Florida once this starts.
You're just going to piss off and galvanize the queer people. You do not want to galvanize queer person. We can change the world. We have 4 queer artists right here, right in front of you. When you piss us off, babe, we get going. We will drag you up.
You think you saw rainbow? You ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen nothing.
Wait till you see that bootylicious rainbow.
And it's just so silly. What are we really arguing about? Like colors.
Right.
Colors.
Colors on the floor.
But it's really indicative. It's really kind of indicative of that right wing altogether.
I love this color.
Right.
It's like,
I mean,
what?
Well, they're doing it because their tactic, and it's working, it has been working, that's how we got elected, is to make these culture war issues that have nothing to do with our economy, that have represent this percentage of America, to make those the headlines.
The cultural issues become the divisive issues.
Exactly, which it's
and
not
that's how they get the votes of the people who are going to be hurt most by their policies.
Yeah, so people, you know what, whether you're for or against it, demand that they actually use the airtime on this 24-hour news cycle to talk about the things that are really affecting our country.
That would be nice. And being that we have no way to end the cycle,